Me, this is going to be a bit extra emotional. Be prepared for that, but this is going to have always, just like always, happy ending. So, yeah, enjoy the story. The morning sunlight entered the bedroom, softly falling on the white curtains that moved gently with the wind. The room smelled like fresh flowers and warm coffee. Taehyung stood in front of the mirror, hands trembling slightly as he held the pregnancy test. His heart was beating so fast it felt like it might jump out of his chest. Two lines, clear, strong things as within. His lips parted and suddenly tears filled his eyes. Jungkook. I shook as he walked out of the bathroom. Jungkook was in the kitchen wearing an apron, humming softly while cooking breakfast. When he heard things as he turned around immediately. Jungkook, baby, are you okay? Taehyung walked slowly towards him, his hands shaking as he held the test out. I think I'm pregnant. For a moment, Jungkook froze, then his eyes fell on the test. Two lines, his breath hinched. Jungkook dropped the spoon and walked towards Taehyung in quick steps. He held Taehyung's face gently, as if scared this moment might disappear. Jungkook, really? Really? Taehyung nodded, tears rolling down his cheeks. Taehyung, we are going to be parents. Jungkook pulled Taehyung into his arms tightly, lifting him slightly off the ground. Jungkook, oh my God, thank you, thank you. He kissed Taehyung's forehead, his cheeks, his lips softly. Careful, Taehyung kisses full of emotion. Jungkook, I'll protect you, I promise. Both of you, Taehyung smiled through tears, resting his head on Jungkook's chest. Listening to the heartbeat from that day, their life changed. Jungkook, being extra careful, he cooked healthy food, reminded Taehyung to rest, and never let him lift anything heavy. At night, he would place his hand on Taehyung's belly, whisper softly, Jungkook, hello, little one, daddy is here. Taehyung would giggle, heart full. They started planning baby names, colors of the nursery, tiny colors they loved, sitting on the couch, rubbing his belly, daydreaming while Jungkook walked beside him. 2 months passed like a sweet dream. Then one night, Them woke up with pain, sharp, sudden. He sat up, breathing heavily. His hands clenched his stomach. Then Jungkook, it hurts. Jungkook woke up instantly. Jungkook, what? Where? They talk to me. Things face turned pale. Things something feels wrong. Within minutes, they were rushing to the hospital. The smell of antibiotic, the sound of machines, doctor moving fast. Jungkook held Things hand tightly the whole time. Jungkook, I'm here. Don't be scared. Hours later, the doctor came out with serious. Doctor, I'm sorry, the pregnancy couldn't be saved. Taehyung felt like his world stopped. His ears rang, his vision blurred. Taehyung, no, I was careful. I did everything right. Jungkook pulled him into his arms as Taehyung broke down, sobbing loudly. Taehyung, I lost our baby. Jungkook, I lost our baby. Jungkook held him tightly, tears slightly falling from his own eyes. Jungkook, it's not your fault. Never say that. The day after that were dark. Taehyung stopped smiling. He spent most of his time in the bed, staring at the ceiling. Sometimes he touched his stomach unconsciously, then pulled his hand away, crying silently. At night, Jungkook would wash Taehyung's hair, feed him, hold him close. Jungkook never pushed him to talk. He showed love through actions. One night, Taehyung finally spoke. Taehyung, my body failed, didn't it? Jungkook held his face gently. Jungkook, no, your body. He cried in his arms until he fell asleep. 6 months passed. Slowly, Taehyung started healing. One morning, he looked at Jungkook and whispered, Taehyung, I want to try again. Jungkook's eyes filled with emotion. Jungkook, only if you are ready. Taehyung nodded. When Taehyung got pregnant the second time, fear lived with them. Every small pain scared Taehyung. Taehyung, what if I lose this one too? Jungkook would kiss his hand softly. Jungkook, we will face it together, but stress ate them from inside. Doctor visit became terrifying. Then one afternoon, Taehyung collapsed in tears. The second happened quietly. No screaming, just silence. Taehyung stared at the hospital ceiling empty. I'm tired. I'm so tired. At home, he locked himself in the bathroom and cried. Jungkook sat outside the door all night. Jungkook, I'm here, even if you never opened the door. After days, Taehyung finally came out. Jungkook hugged him tightly. Taehyung, maybe I'm not meant to be parent. Jungkook shook his head finally. Firmly, Jungkook, you are meant to be loved. That's enough. They slept holding each other tightly that night. The pain didn't disappear, but love stayed, and that love refused to break. The rain outside fell quietly, tapping against the window like a slow, sad rhythm. Taehyung sat on the edge of the bed, staring at his hands. His fingers trembled slightly. His eyes looked tired, older than before. Loss had changed him. Jungkook stood near the door, watching his husband with worried eye, feeling his eyes. He wanted to go to him, to pull him into his arms, but he waited. He had learned that Taehyung needed space sometimes. Taehyung finally spoke, voice barely above a whisper. Taehyung, I think I'm ready again. Jungkook froze. Jungkook, Taehyung looked up, eyes shiny with tears. Taehyung, I don't want to live scared forever. Jungkook walked to him slowly and knelt in front of him, holding his hands. Jungkook, we will try only if it doesn't hurt you. Taehyung nodded. A month later, the test showed 2 lines again. The third pregnancy. This time, joy came with fear. Jungkook became overly careful. He held Taehyung while he walked, reminded him to sit, to drink water, to breathe slowly. At night, Jungkook barely slept. He watched Taehyung's chest rise and fall, scared of losing him. Taehyung tried to smile. Taehyung, you will make me wrinkle if you keep this up. Jungkook kissed his forehead softly. Jungkook, you already are precious. Weeks passed. One evening, Taehyung slept in the bathroom. It happened fast, too fast. The sound of the body hitting the floor echoes in the house. Jungkook rushed in, heart stopping. Jungkook, Taehyung lying there, crying, hands on his stomach. Taehyung, it hurts, it hurts. The hospital lights were too bright. Doctors moved quickly. Jungkook held Taehyung's hand tightly, whispering prayers he never believed in before. Then came the words again. Doctor, I'm sorry. Taehyung didn't cry this time. He just stared. Empty. Back home, Taehyung shut himself inside their bedroom. He didn't speak. He didn't eat. Jungkook sat outside the door day and night. Jungkook, I'm here. You don't have to talk. Inside, Taehyung hugged his knees, rocking himself. Taehyung 3 times. 3 times. Days later, Taehyung finally came out. He looked broken. Taehyung, I'm done. Jungkook's heart shattered. Taehyung, I can't do this again. I can't lose another baby. Jungkook nodded slowly. Jungkook, then we wouldn't try again. From that day, Jungkook never mentioned children, never. Instead, he focused on Taehyung. He cooked his favorite food. He took him on slow walks. He held him during nightmares. Some nights, Taehyung woke up screaming, Taehyung, I lost them. I lost them. Jungkook, you are still here. I have you. Taehyung tried to smile again. Sometimes he succeeded, sometimes he broke. One evening, after a long day, Taehyung sat beside Jungkook on the couch. Taehyung, do you resent me? Jungkook turned sharply. Jungkook, never say that. Taehyung's voice cracked. Taehyung, I couldn't give you a child. Jungkook cupped his face firmly. Jungkook, you give me yourself. That's everything. That night, love felt different. Jungkook touched Taehyung like he was glass, gentle, holding him close. Taehyung cried quietly against Jungkook's shoulders, letting himself feel loved again. Weeks later, Taehyung started feeling sick. He ignored it. Fear lived in his bones, but he showed 2 lines again, accidentally. Unexpected, Taehyung dropped the test, shaking. Taehyung, no. No, Jungkook picked it up slowly. Jungkook, Taehyung backed away. Taehyung, I can't do this again. I will die if I lose this one. Jungkook held him tightly. Jungkook, then we will fight together. That night, Jungkook made a decision. He submitted his leave papers. 9 months. Jungkook, I'm not leaving you alone, even For a second, Taehyung cried in his arms, fear and hope mixing painfully. The journey was just beginning, and this time Jungkook refused to let fear win. The train moved slowly through green fields and quiet villages. Taehyung sat by the window, his hands resting on his stomach, fingers curled slightly as if protecting something fragile. His eyes followed the trees passing by, but his mind was far away, lost between fear and hope. Jungkook sat beside him, one arm wrapped securely around Taehyung's shoulder, the other and never leaving Taehyung's belly. Jungkook, we are almost there. Taehyung nodded softly. Taehyung, your hometown feels peaceful. Jungkook smiled faintly. Jungkook, that's why I brought you here. No noise, no stress, just us. Taehyung leaned into Jungkook's chest. His heartbeat was steady, strong. It calmed with a little. The house in Jungkook's hometown was small but warm, surrounded by trees. Sunlight filled the rooms during the day. The air smelled clean and fresh. From the first day, Jungkook stayed close, too close. Some night say, but Taehyung needed it. Jungkook cooked every meal, helped Taehyung shower, walked with him slowly in the garden, and never let him be alone for long. At night, Jungkook slept with one arm around Taehyung, one hand on his stomach, as if guarding the life inside. Taehyung woke up softly, gasping, heart racing. Taehyung, I had a bad dream. Jungkook would pull him closer immediately. Jungkook, I'm here. You are safe. Flashbacks. Haunted Taehyung hospital. Lights. Empty cribs. Silence after hope. Someday Taehyung sat quietly, staring at the wall. Jungkook never forced him to talk. He sat beside him instant. One afternoon, Taehyung suddenly spoke. Taehyung, what if I lose this one too? Jungkook turned to him. I serious, Jungkook. Then I will still love you, but we wouldn't lose hope before it happens. Taehyung's eyes filled with tears. Taehyung, I'm scared to love this baby. Jungkook placed Taehyung's hand gently on the belly. Jungkook, then let me love them for both of us. Months passed slowly. Doctor visits were terrifying. Taehyung gripped Jungkook's hand tightly. Every time, doctor, everything looks fine. Each time, Taehyung exhaled shakily. At home, Jungkook talked to Taehyung's belly every night. Jungkook, stay strong, little one. Your daddy is waiting. Sometimes Taehyung smiled, sometimes he cried silently while Jungkook wasn't looking. As his belly grew, so did his fear. One night, Taehyung broke down. Taehyung, I don't deserve happiness. Jungkook held his face firmly. Jungkook, stop. You survived 3 losses. That makes you strong. Taehyung shook his head, sobbing. Jungkook hugged him tightly. Jungkook cried, I'll hold you. Their intimacy changed during those months. It wasn't about desire, it was about closeness. Jungkook kissed Taehyung softly, left left gentle marks on his skin, not worship but reassurance. Taehyung felt loved again, protected. As 9 months passed, arrived, tension filled the house. Taehyung barely slept. Every small pain scared him. Jungkook stay awake with him. Jungkook, breathe with me. Then one night, Taehyung gasped him. Jungkook, it hurts. Different this time. Jungkook's heart raced. Jungkook, is it time? Taehyung nodded, crying. The drive to the hospital felt endless. Taehyung screamed while hit. Jungkook held his hand, voice shaking. Jungkook, you are doing so well. Please hold on. In the delivery room, Taehyung was terrified. I can't do this. Jungkook leaned close, forehead touching his. Jungkook, you already survived worse. This ends with us holding our baby. Hours passed, pain, fear, tears. Then a sound, small, sharp, alive. A baby cry filled the room. Taehyung froze. Then he broke down completely. Taehyung, I hear her. Jungkook, I hear her. Jungkook was crying openly now. Jungkook, she is here. Our baby is here. The nurse placed the baby gently on Taehyung's chest. Taehyung sobbed loudly, holding her carefully. Taehyung, you are real? You stayed? Jungkook kissed Taehyung's forehead, tears falling onto both of them. Jungkook, thank you for surviving. They named her Taehyung. Later in the quiet hospital room, Taehyung watched Taehyung sleep. Taehyung, she healed at me. Jungkook wrapped his arms around both of them. Jungkook, we healed at each other. For the first time in years, Taehyung slept peacefully, a happy family at least. Flashback. The house smelled like warm soup and fresh rice. Jungkook stood in the kitchen, sleeves rolled up, careful, stirring the pot. He checked his time again and again, glancing at the door every few minutes. Taehyung had said he needed air. Jungkook didn't stop him. He thought space might help. Jungkook whispered to himself, Jungkook, he will be back soon. He plated two meals neatly. Taehyung's favorite side dish was placed carefully, just the way he liked it. Jungkook wiped his hands on the towel and walked to the living room. Empty, he checked his bedroom. Empty, his chest tightened slightly. Jungkook took his phone and dialed Taehyung's number. No answer. He tried again. Still no answer. Jungkook frowned. Jungkook, hey, pick up. The park was still alive. Children laughed loudly as they ran across the grass. Parents sat on the benches, smiling, calling their kids back when they ran too far. Taehyung sat alone on the bench near the playground. His shoulders were shaking. His hands were clenched tightly in his lap, nails digging into his skin. His eyes were red. Tears streamed down his face freely, silently at first, then louder. Taehyung watched the little child fall while running. The mother rushed over, lifting the child, kissing his forehead. Taehyung's breath hinged painfully. Taehyung whispering, that could have been me. His chest tightened. Another child laughing, holding a balloon. Taehyung pressed his hand to his mouth, trying to stop the sob that escaped. Taehyung bent down forward, elbow on his knees, crying openly now. Taehyung, I tried so hard. People passed by, but no one stopped. He felt invisible, broken, and useless. Taehyung hugged himself tightly, rocking slightly. Taehyung, I'm empty. I'm so empty. His stomach felt hollow, not just physically but emotionally. He placed his hand there unconsciously, then pulled it back as if burned. Taehyung screamed. He reached the park, breathed anyway, eyes searching desperately. Then he saw him, Taehyung, crying, completely shattered. Jungkook froze. His heart dropped to his stomach. He rushed forward, ignoring everyone else. Jungkook, Taehyung didn't hear. Jungkook dropped to his knees in front of him, hands shaking as he pulled Taehyung into his arms. Taehyung flinched at first, then realized who it was. Taehyung broke completely. Taehyung, Jungkook. He clenched Jungkook's shirt tightly, sobbing loudly into his chest. Taehyung, I can't do this anymore. Jungkook held him tightly, one hand cradling the back of his head, the other wrapped around his trembling body. Jungkook, I'm here. I have got you. Taehyung cried like a child, loud, meshed, desperate. Taehyung, everyone has children, except me. Jungkook closed his eyes tightly, tears falling silently. Jungkook, you don't have to be strong. Not today, not with me. Taehyung's voice cracked. Taehyung, I felt like my body betrayed me. Jungkook pulled him back enough to look at Taehyung's face. Jungkook, your body survived pain. I can't even imagine. Taehyung shook his head weakly. Taehyung, I hate myself. Jungkook held his face firmly. Jungkook closed his Jungkook, please don't. He wrapped Taehyung back into his chest, rocking him gently, ignoring the people around them. Jungkook, let's go home. Taehyung nodded, completely adjusted at home. Jungkook held Taehyung, changing in clean clothes. Taehyung didn't resist. His eyes were half closed, swollen from crying. Jungkook guided him to the bed, helped him lie down. Taehyung grabbed Jungkook's sleep desperately. Taehyung, don't leave. Jungkook lay beside him, immediately pulling Taehyung into his arms. Jungkook, I'm not going anywhere. Taehyung cried again, softly, this time his tears soaking into Jungkook's shirt. Jungkook kissed Taehyung's hair again and again. Jungkook, sleep, I'll stay. Taehyung breathed in slowly, in turn, evened out, his grip loosened slightly. He is still crying but sleeping. Jungkook is still awake, holding him. He stayed. Jungkook whispering, even if it's just us, I'll choose you every time. He tightened his arm protectively outside. The world continued. Inside, Jungkook guided his broken love with everything he had to present. The car stopped in front of the house. Sunlight warmed the quiet street. Birds chirped softly, and the wind moved trees gently, as if welcoming them back home. Taehyung sat on the back seat, holding a small bundle close to his chest. His arms were wrapped tightly around the baby, as if the world might try to steal him away. Taehyung is small, warm. Jungkook stepped out first and walked around, opened the door for Taehyung. His eyes immediately softened when he saw his husband. Jungkook, careful, take your time. Taehyung nodded, moving slowly, never losing his hold on the baby. Taehyung, don't come too close. Jungkook blinked, then smiled. Jungkook, I am the father. Taehyung tightened his arms instinctively. Taehyung, still be careful. Jungkook laughed quietly but didn't argue. He had learned Taehyung and Taehyung were a package now. Inside the house, everything was clean, warm, and prepared. Jungkook had made sure of it days before bringing them home. The baby's room was painted soft cream with little clouds on the walls. Taehyung stepped inside slowly, eyes wide. Taehyung, this is really ours? Jungkook nodded. Jungkook every corner. Taehyung's eyes filled with tears. He walked to the couch and sat down carefully. Still holding Taehyung close, the baby made a small sound. Lips. Taehyung panicked instantly. Taehyung, he's moving. Jungkook, he is uncomfortable. Jungkook crouched beside him calmly. Jungkook, he's just stretching. Taehyung glad. Taehyung, how do you know? Jungkook smiled gently. Jungkook, because I have for 9 months. Taehyung suddenly yawned, tiny mouth opening wide. Taehyung gasped softly. Taehyung, he is so cute. Jungkook felt his heart melt for the 100th time that day. For the first time, Taehyung barely slept. Every small sound made him sit up. Taehyung, did he breathe just now? Jungkook, half asleep, reached over calmly. Jungkook, yes, love, baby's breathe. Taehyung hovered closely, placing a finger near Taehyung's nose. Taehyung, okay. Jungkook watched him with affection, pulling Taehyung back gently. Jungkook, Taehyung shook his head stormily. Taehyung, I waited years for him. I'm not sleeping. Jungkook didn't force him. He simply stayed awake too. Morning came with soft cries. Taehyung's tiny voice filled the room. Taehyung jolted awake instantly. Taehyung, my baby. Jungkook was already standing, lifting Taehyung gently. Taehyung's eyes wouldn't. Jungkook supported his head. Jungkook adjusted immediately. Jungkook like this. Taehyung nodded anxiously. Taehyung, and don't walk too fast. Jungkook walked slowly, smiling. Jungkook, yes sir. He handed the baby back carefully. Taehyung exhaled only when Taehyung was back in his arms. Taehyung kissed the baby's head softly. Taehyung, Daddy is here. Daddy wouldn't let anyone hurt you. Jungkook watched it quietly, heartful. Days passed in soft chaos. Diapers, feeding, gentle crying. Taehyung followed Taehyung everywhere. Bathroom, baby came too. Kitchen, baby wrapped to his chest. When Jungkook tried to take Taehyung for a walk, Taehyung followed behind nervously. Taehyung, you are holding him too loose. Jungkook adjusted. Taehyung, not like that. Like this. Jungkook sighed but smiled. Jungkook, you don't trust me at all. Taehyung looked serious. Taehyung, I trust you with my life, but he's my miracle. Jungkook teasing faded. He nodded. Jungkook, I understand. That night, Taehyung wouldn't stop crying. Taehyung panicked. Taehyung, Something is wrong. Jungkook took Taehyung calmly, checked him, then started humming softly, a deep, warm tone. Within minutes, Taehyung quieted, eyes slowly closing. Taehyung, how did you do that? Jungkook smiled proudly. Jungkook, I practiced. Taehyung said, straightened. Taehyung, you will be a better parent than me. Jungkook turned serious instantly. Jungkook, no, you carried him through pain. I can't imagine. Taehyung's eyes filled with tears. Later, while Taehyung slept on Jungkook's chest, Taehyung rested beside them, fingers tracing his baby's tiny hands. Taehyung, he looks like you. Jungkook lunged at Jungkook. Thankfully, Taehyung suddenly smiled in deep sleep. Taehyung gasped softly. Taehyung, did you see that? He smiled. Jungkook nodded. Jungkook, he knows he is loved. Weak scars then slowly healed it physically and emotionally, but his positional stayed. When visitor came, Taehyung hovered close. Taehyung, wash your hands. Taehyung, don't kiss his face. Taehyung, give me back. Give him back. Jungkook gently intervened when needed. Jungkook, breathe. At night, when the house was quiet, Taehyung sometimes cried softly. Jungkook held him close. Jungkook, what is it? Taehyung whispered, Taehyung, I'm scared this happiness will disappear. Jungkook kissed his hair. Jungkook, it wouldn't. We fought too hard for this. One evening, Taehyung was lying between them on the bed, making soft noises. Jungkook touched Taehyung's hand gently. Jungkook, you okay? Taehyung nodded, watching his baby. Taehyung, I finally feel complete. Taehyung suddenly grabbed Jungkook's finger. Jungkook froze. Jungkook, he's holding me. Taehyung smiled warmly. Taehyung, he knows his daddy. Jungkook's eyes filled with tears. Jungkook, I promise I'll protect you both. Taehyung made a small sound like he agreed. Taehyung leaned into Jungkook, resting his head on his shoulders. Taehyung, we are home. Jungkook kissed his temple. Jungkook, and we are staying. 3 heart, 1 home, a love that finally stayed. The end.